Om. Om. Sairam, everyone. Just to recollect where we are at the end of chapter 6 of Swami's about it, some technical difficulty. Okay. So Swami is telling us that we should strive to have Atmanubhava, the experience of the Atman as ourselves, and also Sakshatkara. We should be able to witness the Lord in person or in front of our eyes. Without these, we cannot call ourselves those who are devotees or devotees following the dharma of someone who believes in God. And without this, if we try to explain God to anyone, it's like blind leading the blind. This somewhat what we discussed last week. I think Swami is continuing on to explain further in chapter 7. So I think we can start with chapter 7. I think we have already looked at chapter 6 last slide a couple of times. So Kalyani and Narmada, please go ahead.
Sir, be yourself. He who has visualized the Atma principle that animates all can never condemn the religion of anyone. He will never enter any religious squabble or conflict. He will never talk lightly or demeaningly of another's faith. He will never disturb or despise the faith held by another. Only the ignorant with no spiritual experience, only those who do not know the depths of truth will embark upon the condemnation of the faith of others. It is very unbecoming of man to indulge in or encourage religious conflicts, to ridicule the rites and ceremonies through which others adore God, and to label the religious practices of other people as superstitions. For each one has accepted the practice and holds on to it, since it confers ananda on him. The one is spoken of by those who know as many. The same thing is seen and experienced in different ways by different people, according to the angle of vision and the level of intelligence and awareness. Different persons describe the same thing or experience differently. How can anyone declare that they should not do so, or that what they describe is wrong? No one has the right to disparage or deny. Only those who strive to transcend the here and now and become aware of the transcendent principle of Godhead deserve the name Hindu. Those who reveal in hurting others do not justify that name.
Okay, thank you. Auntie, shall we read the Telugu, Auntie?
Saira. 7th chapter. మీరుగానే ఉండవలెను.
You have to be yourself.
అట్లు అందరి యందలి ఆత్మతత్వమును దర్శించిన వాడు అన్యమతములను దూషించుడు.
In that manner, one who has seen the principle of Atma in everyone will not abuse any other religion.
మత కలహములలో కాలు పెట్టడు.
He will not step foot in any conflict related to religion.
పరమతములను పరిహసించడు.
He will not make fun of other religions.
పరుల విశ్వాసములకు అడ్డు తగలడు.
He will not become a hurdle or obstacle for other people's beliefs.
అనుభూతి లేని అమాయకులే, అజ్ఞానులే ఇతరుల విశ్వాసములు కాదని ఖండించటం.
Only those who are devoid of experience and who are ignorant, they are the ones who blame or discredit other people's faith.
ఐ థింక్ అమాయకులున్న
Some people say innocent.
No, I think here it
means who are not informed, who are naive.
naive people. ఇతరులను కాదని ఖండించటం, మత కలహములు ప్రోత్సాహపరచటం,
who encourage religious conflicts,
వారి వారి ఆరాధనా పద్ధతులను పరిహసించటం,
making fun of other people's ways of worship,
మూఢ నమ్మకాలని మూల్గటం,
to call them as superstitions.
ఇత్యాది దుర్బుద్ధులు మానవ మాత్రులకు తగినవి. తగనవి.
Yes, such bad tendencies are not proper for human beings.
ఎవరి విశ్వాసములు వారికి ఆనందమును అందించును.
Everyone's belief grants each their own bliss.
ఏకం సత్ విప్రాహ బౌధా వదంతి. ఒకే పదార్థమును ఒక్కొక్కరు ఒక్కొక్క విధముగా దర్శింతురు, వర్ణింతురు.
As stated in the statement, God is one, but the wise describe it in different ways. One substance is seen and described by each person differently.
దీనిని కాదనగలవారు ఎవ్వరు లేరు.
There's none who can say that is not so.
ఎవ్వరికి అధికారము లేదు.
No one has the authority to do so.
సమత్వమును పొందుగోరు వారే పరహింసకు ప్రాకులాడుకుండు వారు. Those who
want equality or equity among everyone, whoever wishes to achieve it will not attempt to hurt others.
Can we say integration? Samattvamana integration.
Yeah, you can see it.
Samattvamanu pondugoru varu.
I'm trying to see what the
integration is here. Those who strive to transcend the here and now and become aware of the transcendent principle of God.
Okay.
Of the name Hindu.
Yeah, so basically Samattvamana means integration also is integration, equality, whatever. Unity.
So such people will not
hurt others.
పరులను బాధించు వారికి హిందూ శబ్దము సార్థకము కాదు.
Those who hurt others cannot call themselves Hindu.
That's all I think she has read. Those who revel in hurting others do not justify the name.
Yeah.
I think she stopped there.
So we can stop here. So Swami is continuing from where he ended in chapter 6, talking about those who realize the Atman, that they are the Atman and they see the Atman in everyone else, will never resort to abusing other faiths. So I'll stop here. If anyone would like to discuss any point, please go ahead.
The Amaya Kule, you said, so Anubhuti Leni Amaya Kule means those
People
naive.
are naive without experience. So Swami,
Can we say immature?
immature or immature is the good term.
My Amayakul immature also.
Amayaka can be in a positive sense, also a negative sense, but in this case, Swami sort of using it in a negative sense, I would say. Because Amayaka means also innocent, who is illiterate, type of meaning also can be said. Who are not worldly wise. That's the meaning.
And then it says that they would not discredit other people's faith.
Yes.
And then what was the next part? Mata Kalahamulu.
So they will not encourage fighting among religions. See, this statement, this. So Swami says only those who do not have the experience of Atman will fight. So then how many people in the world fall under that category is the question. Because until one attains that, religious differences will be reality for all those who have not attained that. So that's another reason Swami wants the Bharatiyas to realize that what they have to learn and what they have to come to, because sometimes we think we can organize some multi-faith conferences and things like that and bring about unity. They are temporary band-aids, if at all, even if they help. But Swami is saying fundamentally, only when we realize that everyone is an Atman, that the fighting among the religions will cease. So that's.
Sai Ramana,
Yes.
the paragraph where the Swami says the one is spoken of by those who know as many,
Yes.
and the same thing is seen and experienced in different ways. And according to the Anglican vision of the level of intelligence awareness, is it? Can you explain that a bit? I understand the first one, so God has many names and many forms, right? But the next.
See, I think that translation is not very accurate.
Oh,
Okay. Ekam Sat, truth is one. Vipraha Bahudha Vadanti. Vipraha means people who have studied the scriptures, describe in many ways. That's all. They don't say God is many. Here once you say as many, it is very confusing. The wise describe it in different ways or many ways. So the thing is, for example, if you take Jesus saw God, he and he described. Everyone saw the same God. Only those who don't understand will fight. Okay. Jesus will not go and fight somebody and say, your God is different from my God and things like that. They go and see God through their own experience and they describe it. Vipraha Bahuda Vadanti. They don't say God is many. No. In different ways they explain. Bahuda means in different manner. So Vipraha, the wise or the learned or those who have experienced, describe in different ways, many ways. Okay, but here one is spoken by those who has many is very wrong translation in my view. Because then you think one has become many. No, one has not become many. One is described in many ways. Okay, so I think, I don't know whether my English understanding is wrong, but as many means it's not as many. Okay, so that's my. And Auntie, you would like to comment on what I have stated? Auntie will say it in different ways.
Here, as many as possible. It's not that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Those who know as those who know like many. In this, the one is spoken of by those who know.
In
as-
many ways. In many ways is better.
In many ways. In many ways. He is described as in many ways.
The truth is described in many ways by the wise.
బట్ యాక్చువల్లీ తెలుగులో ఒక్కొక్కరు ఒక్కొక్క విధముగా దర్శింతురు వర్ణింతురు.
Yes, everyone will see in different, witness have a vision of the Lord in different way, according to their own, and they will describe it according to their own, in different ways. Because same God is perceived and described in different ways by different people.
And then can you just translate the next sentence as well?
దీనిని కాదన గలవారు ఎవ్వరు లేరు.
There is no one who can, there's none who exists that this is not so.
ఎవరికి అధికారము లేదు.
No one has authority.
They cannot say that this is not so. That means
That the same God is spoken in many ways. No one can challenge it, and they don't have the authority to challenge it.
Brother Sairam,
సరే.
the one here is who realized the Atma. Is that the one is referred by here in this paragraph? The one is spoken of by those who know.
So the Ekam God is one.
Yeah,
Brahman is one.
yeah,
Brahman is one. Paramatma is one.
yeah. By those who know, that's the people that can see as many things.
Whoever had experienced,
Yes.
who has, in whichever way they have experienced, they speak according to their experience.
Okay, yes. Different ways they speak, but that one. Okay.
Yes. Everyone is speaking about the same thing. It's the story of the elephant. Somebody touches the trunk and says it's like, big wall or something like that, or big pillar or some such thing. Somebody touches the ear and says, oh, it's a winnow, something like that. Somebody touches the tail and thinks it's a wiry thing. It's like a snake. So it's similar to that. But who are the such people? They are still blind. Okay. The 5 blind men. But the thing is, one who has experience will be able to explain it slightly different way, but each person's experience is also different because it's limited. So I remember when I was living in the Middle East, in the Middle East, there were no Hindu temples in Abu Dhabi, where I was living. So, at that time, I didn't know of Sai Centres also. People were hiding and doing bhajans those days. So I had a roommate who was a Catholic. So he used to go every Sunday because they had church and he could go for mass. So I told him, I will also come with you. So we went for about 4 or 5 weeks. We were going. He will go to the front and he will pray. I will sit at the back. But after about 5, 6 times, when we were coming back, he asked me, when you're there, who are you praying to? I said, I pray to God. But he asked, he said, your God or, Jesus? I said, there's only one God, I pray to the same God. But, he was very troubled by that. He thought the one God who I think is one God is not his God. So he was worried whether Jesus will be upset that I am coming and praying to some other God sitting in the church. So I said, I realized the pain he had. So I said, it's okay. So I stopped going with him after that so that, he will not be able to pray. He'll think I brought a sinner or somebody who is at the back, praying to Satan or something like that. So this kind of So that's a reality. That's why I'm just reminded of that, my God versus your God. That's a problem. And of course, I scolded Swami about, you can't find a place for me to go and sit and quietly pray. And then, of course, Swami showed the size, group of people who pray having bhajans. But that's a reality. Sorry. So if there's no other point which anyone wants to discuss, I don't know, everyone is silent. You can say anything, you will not be condemned for saying whatever. We can move on then, it's okay.
The inner core of Bharatiya culture is this realization of the unity of Atma principle that fills each heart with universal love. Those who are aware of this unity and are well established in it are kith and kin of Bharatiyas, whichever country they may live in, whatever language is native to their tongues. Many human communities have as the basis of their beliefs the theory that man is a bundle of matter and that this matter is subject to the laws of physics and chemistry. In the languages of the West, death is denoted as the act of giving up life or jiva, whereas in the language of Bharat, it is giving up the body or the deha. This is due to the faith of the Westerners that he is the body and the faith of the Bharatiya that he is not the body. The Bharatiyas assert and know that they have Atma as their reality and that the Atma is enclosed in a body. The two views are widely disparate. A civilization that is built on the shifting sand of worldly pleasure can last only for a little while. It will disappear from the surface of the earth. On the other hand, the civilization of Bharat and of the countries that value and follow the civilization of Bharat have survived for centuries and are vital even today. They show new and refreshing signs of more creative life. This fact has to be kept in mind by those Bharatiyas who have dedicated their lives to the imitation of other civilizations and cultures.
Shall I read? Sairam?
Yes, Andy, please read. I was muted, sorry.
Okay. Then Hindu Shabda Sag. ప్రేమతో హృదయములకు అత్తుకొని ఆలింగనము గావించుకొను ఆత్మతత్వమును ఏకత్వముగా భావించుటే భారతీయుల పరమార్థము.
The supreme principle of the Bharatiyas is to treat that the Atma Tattva is one by holding it tightly in one's heart. Keeping it in one's heart and holding it tightly or embracing it tightly and knowing that it is only one. That is the supreme goal of the Bharatiyas.
ఇట్టి సమత్వము గలవారు ఏ భాషను ఉచ్చరించినను ఆత్మవిశ్వాసము అతని చిహ్నము.
Such people who have that kind of equanimity, whatever they say is the mark of the faith in the Atman.
ఇదే భారతీయుని ముఖ్య గుర్తు.
This is the recognition of a Bharatiya. This is the way one can. Gurtuna sari aunty recognition.
Gurtuna mark. It is the mark.
Because I already used the word mark. So
Did you use it?
no, because of the chinnam.
Okay.
Gurtu is also
Chinnam is symbol.
symbol. Okay, symbol or mark. Okay, sorry.
అట్టి వారందరూ భారతీయుల సన్నిహితులే.
All such people are Sannihita means one who is yes, auntie? Interconnected with Bharatiyas or something like this. Who are connected with Bharatiyas.
Close.
Very close. Closely connected with Bharatiyas.
మానవుడు కేవల భౌతిక పదార్థ రాశి అని చాటుచు తమ ఉన్నతి అంతయు అనాత్మవాదమునే ఆధారము చేసుకొని ఉండిన జాతులు అనేకములు.
There are many races which treat human being as just material, physical material, and they are dwelling on the anatma. Whatever they speak of is anatma, which is that which doesn't relate to atman. Such people who keep those as that's the basis of their thoughts or discussions, there are many such races. I don't know, very sorry about the translation.
No problem. పాశ్చాత్య భాషలో మానవుడు విడునాడనిది తన జీవుని.
See, in the Western language, the human being is said to leave the soul.
భారతీయ భాషలో మానవుడు విడునాడనిది శరీరమును.
In the Bharatiya language, the man gives up the body.
పాశ్చాత్యుడు తానొక శరీరమనియు తనకొక ఆత్మ ఉన్నదనియు తలచును.
The Westerner thinks that one is the body, but one has a soul.
భారతీయుల భావము అట్టది కాదు.
Bharatiyas do not think so.
తాను ఆత్మ స్వరూపుడనియు తనకు శరీరం ఉన్నదనియు భావించును.
The Bharatiya will think that I am Atman, but I have a body. Yeah. That's the way he treats it.
పై రెండిటికి అపార భేదము కలదు.
For the above two, there's huge difference.
కాన భౌతిక సుఖము ఉన్నగు ఇసుక పునాదులపై నిర్మింపబడిన నాగరికతలన్నీ కొలది కాలమే మాత్రమే నిలిచి ప్రపంచమునందే అదృశ్యమగును.
Civilizations which are based on physical pleasures and who are based on
ఇసుక పునాదిన శాండ్.
And the sand made with sand.
It stands on the foundation of the sand is
yes.
punadi.
So they are based on foundation which is made of sand, and they will not last for long, and they will become extinct in this world itself.
Yeah. అయితే భారతదేశము యొక్క భారతీయులను అనుసరించు దేశముల యొక్క నాగరికతలో నేటికిని సజీవములై ఉండుటే గాక నూతనోజ్జీవన లక్షణములు కూడాను కనిపించుచున్నవి.
But the path which is followed by the Bharatiyas in the land of Bharat, that civilization even today is full of life, and it will also show renewal and new life also.
Just 1 minute.
Characteristic of a new life it will show.
అయితే భారతదేశం యొక్క భారతీయులను అనుసరించు దేశములు.
Oh, I see. Okay. That means but the practices of Bharatiyas in the Bharatiya country and also those countries which follow the same principles, they will always remain they will be alive always, and they will also show renewed life even today.
Yeah. ఇతరులను అనుకరించ ప్రవర్తింప చూడకూడదు. That she did it.
No, yes, we should not try to imitate others.
Okay. ಅನುಕರಣವು ನಾಗರಿಕ ಕಾನೇ ಇರೋದು.
Imitation cannot be civilization.
That's it. I think so.
Auntie,
Shaku
refreshing.
auntie has her hands up.
Yes, Sairam Sakku auntie, please go ahead.
Ram, I understood the Hindu belief, but could you help me to understand the Westerners, the Islamic, and other religions, how they differ? Do they differ? They only go by the body, or how does it? Can you give more clarification on that, please?
Okay, thank you, auntie. I will ask anyone else who would like to answer this question. So, Sairam auntie, so Swami is clearly talking about the other faiths also. All of them believe that the body is eternal. And one of the reasons that people bury the body is with the hope that on the day of reckoning, or all of them will be rising from the death. Even the Christianity itself is based on that Jesus, he died. That means the body lost its soul and it again came back. So the body is considered permanent. And also so I think that's what Swami is differentiating. Whereas Bharatiyas feel that the Atman is not the body. So this is the real distinct difference between other religions and Bharatiyas. But before Swami made this statement, Swami has already told, don't, speak badly about others. Don't think that they are following superstition. Then the question also may ask, then what will happen to all those people? Everyone is learning. That's one stage of life where our spiritual progress happens through many lifetimes. And we should understand that. And everyone will one day get to that point. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Saramana, one other question where in that line, Swami is here saying that many human communities have the basis of their beliefs, as laws of physics and chemistry in a sense, so that, the
That is
physical,
not,
that's different, right? That what is being Swami is trying to say there?
so Swami is talking about bhautika, that means physical. Everything is based on the physical experiences, worldly. But I think the translation, it has been laws of physics and chemistry has been.
Yeah, that's where I got confused.
Yeah. So in there, Swami is not talking about laws of physics or anything like that. Because
Okay.
they're all based on just worldly create this world, anatma. That is all the principle which are not atman. They're trying to base everything because they're all continuously changing. In the creation, everything continuously changes. So when you make that the foundation, the shifting sands of time, or if that is the foundation, that culture or civilization will not last, is what Swami has said. So I think, see, the reality is if you go around the world, there are many civilizations. There are no trace of them even today. There are some, in terms of the civilization itself has not lasted, but they have left certain, structures and things like that we can see around the world. But we don't know who practiced what religion there, what type of faith systems there. They have all gone on, they have all vanished. So this is something Swami is mentioning here. Whereas Bharatiyas relied on the Atman, that has lasted longer, or even today. That's what Swami said. And so Swami says anyone who follows this, Anusarincha means he also recognizes, then they will also last. Only if they recognize this Atman as eternal, such faith will last. See, even, sorry, I will stop here. If anyone else would like to say something, please.
Can I ask you another question?
Yes, Auntie.
What is the difference between the Christianity and the Catholicism beliefs? Are they the same, the way you explained, or is there any difference?
I'm not an expert, so I will defer to anyone else who would like to comment on the difference between different denominations in Christianity. So, one is Catholicism, and of course, from that Protestantism also started.
Yeah,
And then
Pentecost.
there are hundreds of denominations. Anyone who is familiar, please volunteer. So, Auntie, I don't think anyone is knowledgeable.
Yeah.
So I will leave it at that. See, from my understanding, we can always split hairs. And we can split hairs in the sense, we can interpret it differently, whatever, and then we can form our own denominations. That's the way many denominations have cropped up. Different teachers of those denominations came up with different understanding. And because of that, there's mushrooming of different interpretations. I think Swami has used the word earlier on. Even in the Bharat, there is mushrooming. If you take the Sathya Sai organization, there are mushrooming. Okay, so everyone says we are different, our interpretation is right. We are different. Swami wants us to be different. These are things which happen in this world. When Swami says unity is divinity, I don't know how people can even say we are different. So this is the problem. So such problems exist in the world, in every religious or faith system. That's all I understand. So I hope that's good enough, sufficient for your purposes, unless you had to go and talk to a Catholic priest.
Oh no, I have not. I studied in a convent, but I just wanted to know. There.
It's original, the Protestants, the word itself, they protested, and that's how, I think Lutherans, different people protested and formed different denominations. So that's.
Is that what Swami was talking about earlier? Because is it like because Swami was saying how the one is described in many ways and no one can deny that. So if somebody says this is the way that I perceive God and I describe him in this way, then no one can argue with that. Is that why so many branches have come up?
See, I think Swami has already had. Yes, Sister Aruna, you have an answer? Or Sister Aunt Saku, you have an answer?
No, I don't have an answer, but I am thinking that how I listened to one of the touch ministry, this thing, I was just listening. He was ridiculing. He didn't tell that it is Hindus, but they said there are religions, religious people who are worshipping animals, trees, and all these this thing. They are worshipping the low grade either, and he was making fun of it, and I was very hurt about it, and I was thinking he's so ignorant. But I was thinking how they also must be looking down on us. It's not only we look down on them, they also look down on us. So that's what I was thinking.
No, we should not do it. Neither they should do it for us.
Yeah, now that I have learned here, no one has the right to.
No one has a right. Swami himself, in the beginning itself, he said that no one has a right to condemn others and their religious practices.
But whatever the opinion, they are putting it on the media. That's what
let them think in their own way how to worship God.
Yeah.
See, I think, Auntie, I think some of the reasons why such people talk, we also give room for that. See, if in Swami's ways, do we think it's only one? Do we go to multiple temples and pray for different reasons? And when we go and pray, do we have the idea that it's the same God?
That's right.
See, if I think so, to that extent, they're right. Because see, if we are, if our faith is so confused that we have to go and pray here, we have to go and pray there, and then somebody will say this problem, you go here, then we are giving room for such criticism. See, so I think that's what we all should learn from.
Yeah.
See, even though
True.
we go and pray to Swami, then we say, oh, we have to go and pray to that temple, we have to go here and do this archana, things like that.
Yeah.
Even if you're going there, what are you praying to is very, very important. So I think until we get that feeling of Atmanubhava, Ishvara Sakshatkara, and all is one. If we have that feeling, whatever people say, we will not be affected. Because then we will say they don't understand, so it's okay. We will be actually taking, we'll have pity on them that they haven't understood. So, but we will not be hurt. We will not be affected. So, but if we are affected, then there's some truth to it. I think that's the way I would put it. That's why Swami is saying all this. Already Swami has said, if anyone wants to call themselves an Astika Dharma Parudu, one who thinks I am a devotee, he should have these qualifications. See,
And if you're if you want to have a real bhakti, you have to choose one. And very unshaken faith you have to have.
yes, I think so. I think when we hear comments like that, I think we have to ask ourselves, how are we behaving? How is our devotion? Is it shaky? Do we believe that all forms of God are the same?
Yes.
I think those are the things which we should ask. I think that's what I would say. But let them have their faith, their opinion. It's okay if it's going to help them pray to Jesus better. So be it. We should wish them all good success. But they will also progress through that experience.
Thank you.
I think Sister Aruna had an answer or a question, and then she put unless she can share what that insight she had if the question went away.
Brother, that's okay. I got the answer by your discussion here. I was thinking about the one, I didn't understand what is Swami is trying to say. They saw a new and refreshing sign of creative life. What is that creative life Swami is talking about?
Swami is saying Nutana Jivan. That means it's a new life. See, what Swami is saying is this Bharatiya tradition, and whoever follows it will find that it is still alive. It will also be giving rise to new lives. So that means it will be renewed, renewed, I don't know, growth or whatever you can say.
Yeah, it's a more creative life. That's a
No, it's not creative.
yeah. It's
It's
okay.
not. See, basically, it's something like, avatars will come, they will rejuvenate. Rejuvenation is the word I would say.
Revitalization also.
Revitalization.
Revitalization. Okay, right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Sairam, my other countries who have followed our Bharatiya civilization, Sanskriti, may we say that, there are other countries, for example, Nepal, and to a little extent, Sri Lanka also, all have been following our civilization, so they are still very firm on their foundation. Any other example of a country?
Not, I think in the way I understood, Auntie, in all over the world, there are people who subscribe to Hinduism, Bharatiya thought. Such people also will always, such thoughts also will be alive, is my understanding. Because Bharatiya tradition spread far and wide in ancient times, even in the East Asia region. Many countries, they still have certain forms of worship, and they still study Ramayana and things like that. They all have this thought, Buddhism, for example, also has this thought, that there's an Atman which goes it reincarnates and things like that. It is eternal. So such thought is available even in those countries. So wherever the Buddhism is also followed.
Yeah.
So they stand a chance of surviving over anything because they know that the Atman. Because the reality is, even if we take Swami for that matter, lots of discussion happens after Swami's absence of physical form. How are you praying to him? How are you connecting to him? These are thoughts even among our circles. Everywhere this discussion comes because we ourselves are worried that transcendence from the form. And there are people who will say, okay, then if Sai Baba couldn't walk, he was in the wheelchair, things like that. But real devotee will not be affected by any of this. Because if they think, God is a Superman, you can jump up and down at will, then that's God. That's what we call God man, who can walk on water, fly through the air. We have such, people have such weird ideas about God. And so if that's as long as you think the body is God, then we will have such thoughts. But when you know that it's Atman which matters, we will not have any doubt. See, if you take Christianity, Christianity is based on resurrection of Christ. After 3 days, he rose from death. When they say he rose from death, means the body became alive again. That's the belief. Whether that's true or not, but that itself gives so many people hope and faith. Because of that, many people want to tell stories of Swami brought somebody back to life, brought back to life. This our people, it's I would call it a disease. You know, to think that somebody was brought back to life means it must be God. Swami will not belittle divinity to that, because when people are born every day, who is giving life to every little small boy, small baby? So the thing is, body was not given much importance in the Bharatiya tradition. So that's the bottom line. So I think we all should. Let's say we cry when somebody dies. We think, it's love and all this because we give too much importance to the body. And we forget the Atman. And the journey of the Atman is completely forgotten. And I think that's what Swami is driving home here. So as long as we have that very clearly in our awareness, we will always fall into this problem.
No, my point was other countries, Swami says, the other countries who
Oh,
followed
yes.
what countries. I gave example of Nepal and Sri Lanka, and to little extent even in Malaysia.
Yes.
And people, of course, I can understand all over the world, people who have followed Bharatiya civilization are still surviving very well. But countries as such, I don't think any.
The way I understand, Auntie, it's a nation more than a country is, I would say. So, we may think country is a border, some new name, things like that. Even in Bharat, there are people who are not living in Bharat.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yes, Sister Aruna, please go ahead.
Thairam, brother, you were talking about the different temple, people go here and there. That's give the confusion to the people. But that is, I think, it's an individually who have not fixed their mind to one form and the thing, right? Otherwise, having different temples, different things, way of praying, I think that's okay for because they believe on that, right? But only the people who are devoted to one form, they have to stick with that. So recognizing they are also the God is there kind of, or when they are going, they shouldn't be going in the mindset of, oh, going and praying their puja, I will get different so different difficulty will be solved like that. Things they shouldn't have. That is the, I think in the individual perspective only that controls has to come. But seeing different, I think that is okay. I think that's how I see it because everyone thinks differently and they have a different way
No,
of.
sister, you are right. But what I'm saying, that is why that criticism is leveled against Hindus. Okay. I'm not saying what they are doing is right or wrong. I said that criticism from other religion comes only because of that. So once that we know that, we don't have to be affected by such comments, number one. If we, in our heart, we know what we are doing, we will not be affected. That was my point.
Yes. But the different things, what they are seeing, that is their perspective only. But whoever not affected with that, then they are on the right path. Thank you, Saira.
Sairam, sister, sir. Yes, Sister Vani.
Sairam, brother. So in there's a sentence called in the languages of the West, death is denoted as the act of giving up life or jiva. So they think body is permanent and they can come back to it. Is that
Yes.
meaning? Okay.
Yes, sister. All traditions in the West, that's why the mummies and all that, they people are hoping that the body will come back to life again.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Auntie Saku.
Yes, I have a question regarding our Hindu Sanatana Dharma, this thing. Our Hindu Dharma says about sabri, you have to become detached, you have to become, you only, your soul is eternal, and all these things. Then why in the civilization we have these marriages and then all this that is increasing more attachment and burying the soul? Why that civilization has been encouraged by the Hindu Sanatana Dharma? Sorry, this is
So,
about our religion.
Auntie, you think we should abolish marriages? Is what you're saying?
No, you say you have to become detached. You have to become more concentrate on God and not get into worldly life. In that case, look at the marriage, how pompously they are doing all these marriages. And do they understand, or do they are going to get more attached by having children and all those things? And I think Sanatana Dharma shows two paths, one burying the souls and the other one uplifting the soul. Even Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva's this thing also, it's a spiritual. But I don't know. I just asking you to explain and help me.
Auntie, Sanatana Dharma has given all options for all the people. From Brahmacharya, you can straight away go to sannyasa if you wish.
Yeah.
So when a person as a brahmachari, he is given the education, he is given all options. You go to either grihastha route or you go through sannyasa route. Number one. The person who is taking up grihastha also told this grihastha is not permanent. Only for a temporary period you do this. You go to this ashrama. At the end, you are supposed to go to vanaprastha and then sannyasa. But people, if they don't heed, you see, even Swami is telling here, you go take up sannyasa. How many of us are ready? So the thing is, options are given for everyone to follow what they feel what is suited to them. So there are examples of people who going from brahmacharya to sannyasa directly without going. We don't have to abolish marriage. People who want marriage, they will be upset if you abolish. So that's also available. But so options are given. Swami says, I don't force anything. It has come from source. I hope that answers. Unless somebody else has something to say.
No, you're the only one who can clear this kind of doubts in our mind. Thank you.
Okay, Sai Ravat.
Auntie, can I add something, please, Auntie?
Okay, please,
Now,
please.
what we are thinking now after all this age of life, we are thinking differently. This knowledge, we didn't have it before. Then we would have chosen a different path.
Yeah.
Okay, Auntie. Thank you, Saira.
Yes, I know. Yes.
Sai Sai Ram, Narmada, please go ahead.
My question is something else. I don't know if Sai Satish wants to add to whatever the current discussion. He can go before I change the topic a bit.
Okay, Sai Satish.
Saramana, I was just going to add to what you were saying, and the earlier question from Sister Vani also, that ultimately I think it's the perspective, right? So the same thing whether I am a spiritual being having a human experience, or I'm a human being having a spiritual experience. So I think that is the perspective. The West and the East differs, and that itself is ingrained, like what we have for the Varnashrama dharmas. At every point in time, it was always in the Sanatana dharma that it is the spiritual being, the Atman, who is donned this dress called the body. And that is where, even if we go to the institution of marriage, even as the marriage is happening, there is Kasi Yatre, where the groom is going off to Kashi, and then he is brought back and then offered the daughter. And how it is offered, it is Kannika Danam, which is supposed to considered as the highest, one of the highest of charity, or in that sense. So every act that was done had a spiritual connotation to it. And even when the Saptapadi is taken, when you say Dharmecha, Techa, so it is again based on the 4 Purusharthas. So everything was rooted absolutely in the principle of the Atman, and the expression of the Atman as it goes through the world, how it is again going through different activities, but focused on God realization. And in fact, the institution of marriage given by the Sanatana Dharma safeguarded the part that how one can stay focused while in the world, so that people don't lose track. It's so easy to lose track. So to keep checks and balances all the way for people of all kinds of mentality, and again the same thing, as many seekers, those many paths, but structuring it in a fashion that people can essence God even as they go through day-to-day life. So really coming up with that institution of marriage, having the thing focused on God, even while going through the world, all of that just shows the profundity of thought that was there, that even as we go through worldly activities, we know that we are the Atman, but we are engaged in this activity to connect back again to God. So just reiterating that at every time that we are the Atman was only reinforced, and at times, of course, that is lost, but the whole effort was to essence that in any of the ashramas and then go with any activity. Sairam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sai Satish. Okay, Narmada, please go.
Yeah. My question is with respect to the different gods. Hindus worshipping different gods and going to different places, right? And I don't know if my understanding is correct. Is it because like each god that we have, let's say Ambal or Shivan or Murugan, I thought the purpose was that the god, we are kind of activating or worshipping different energy and form of energy, not different gods, the same god, but they express or show different energy. So that's what we are seeking. Is that understanding not correct? Not different gods per se, but the different expression of the energy in that form of the god, or the, I don't know if I'm expressing that correctly.
Yeah, thank you, Narmada. That's very nice. I will open it up for others to comment before I say anything. Yeah, you have rightly put it in my view. But the thing is, understanding that there's one divinity behind all of them is the most important thing. But anyway, I will open it up for others to comment on it. Thank you. Sairam, everyone. So how many, how many of you think Ganesha and Shiva, they are the same? I think that's the question. So we go and pray to Ganesha, we are going to pray to Shiva. Are they same? Is at an experiential level, is it same? I think that's the question. So then the question is, if they are the same, do I have to worship the other form? Okay, so that's number one. Yes, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Anyone, I was just going to say that, yeah, it's like the same thing what we have in a societal framework, right? That we know that the fire department is involved in saving lives. We know that the hospital care also is involved in saving lives and so on. But we know whom to call to for what is needed. If there's a fire in the house, it's better that I call the fire department rather than I call the hospital and say that come and save me. So ultimately, both are involved in saving lives. But as such, in terms of their functionality that they go about in executing things, that is where I think even in the divine ambience, we have divine departments. So when we call upon Ganesha, it is already known whether it is Vigna Harta, Vigna Karta. We know in terms of for removal of obstacles, we have to pray to Lord Ganesha. Ultimately, whether it is Ganesha or Shiva or Swami, it is the ultimate same divine principle. But the first thing it comes across is, that's why we say Gajatelivi, right? In terms of the elephant, the kind of thinking capabilities that the elephant head itself has. So in terms of Ganesha, in addition to several other divine connotations, but so for anything that we have as such, we have like a portfolio kind, apparently, like how we have in the departments across a university or across society in terms of who handles what, division of work. I think that kind of a thing is, we can consider it in that fashion. But obviously, when we are connecting, essencing the divine principle, it is through the principle of love. But I think in some conversation, I shouldn't um, um, get into the thing of because I don't know the exact words. But then, from what Swami said, I think it looks like all of these activities are done by different gods, demigods, and so on. But when it comes to love, service, and sadhana, that is directly coming to him. So that way we can essence that whether we pray in front of Ganesha or Shiva or Swami, it is the same divine principle. But the way, the functionality of how we access that is what, in terms of ease of access for humanity, maybe it has been given a structure. Sairam.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Brother Sairam, yes, I can see the point from Brother Sai Satish, but I think always is a attribute of divine. That now, for an example, for me, I'm praying Swami, and anything like any obstacles to remove, that Ganesha comes in as his quality, or I will say that is the power from him. Like that, it comes back to the one form again. That's how I will interpret. But those are like attributes of the divine I am praying to.
Okay,
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sister. Yes, Sister Shilpa.
Sairam, I don't know what scripture says, but is it okay I relate to my personal experience of Swami?
Yes, Sister, no problem.
Okay, it was 2020 when I did not know much about Swami, and Uncle ji gave me a picture of Swami, so I started doing prayers. Like I kept in my puja room, and I started praying and doing whatever aarti he taught me. So Navratri came, and I am from Hindu family, believing in Shiv and Mata Rani. So I established the photo of started puja of Navratri. It was around 4:30 in the morning. I was doing puja, and I thought it's okay. I will do Swami's puja next. First, I have to do Mata Rani's puja because it's Navratri, and I have to start the puja. So I was doing the puja. Suddenly, I heard tuck, something dropping, And I did not know. I thought, what happened? Like, no one is here. Everyone is sleeping. Only I am doing puja. What was that noise? And suddenly I looked in my puja thali. There was resin. And I told about this to Uncle Ji. Uncle Ji, this happened. And he taught me that all forms are his. Whatever you worship will go to him. So you are doing Mata Rani's puja, but he's Shiva and Shakti both. So he's giving experience, like he's making you understand. So this was my very first experience. And after that, whatever festival was coming, like Ganeshji festivals coming, then he was showing me the Swarup of Ganeshji. 2 weeks ago it starts. And in the Jyoti or like in the Prasad, something somewhere like related to Ganeshji. And I was here in Toronto 2022 for my daughter's medicine program, and I have to settle her down. So I was here and I said, Swami, I cannot come now to do your puja. And she did not have lamp or anything. So in the foil, I made lamp and cotton beauty parlor things. So cotton, I made jyot out of that, putting ghee. And on the tile of her kitchen, there was a Ganesh Swarup. And like it was literally showing Ganeshji. And I was in tears. I said, Swami, I will offer laddu when I come. Every year I offered 51 laddus. So I said, Swami, when I come back, I will offer laddus. And when I went back after 12 days, and I offered laddu, there was vibhuti inside, white like laddu. So so many experiences that related that he is one with all forms, Saira.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. Yes, Auntie Sakhu.
Yeah, you know Ganapati Adharvasisham, where it says Tvam Brahma, Tvam Vishnu, Tvam Agni, Tvam Indra. All forms are in Ganesha. That's what it's in the Ganapati Adharvasisham. So you asked a question, what is the difference? So it is all in one. So even Lord Shiva is same. All forms is even Baba. Baba has all the forms in him. So there's no difference. Even though we look into the forms, their functionality is the only thing is different. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, Auntie. See, my point was actually referring to Swami's earlier point from the earlier chapter. When people level certain criticism of what we are doing, we are unable to deal with them or even to talk to them only because we don't have Atmanubhava, we don't have Ishvara Sakshatkara. Okay, so if when we have, we will be different people. Even our own religion, we will follow approach in a completely different manner. See, until then, we will be faced with criticism. But my point was, if we are praying to only the one divinity, we should not be affected by such criticisms. That is the number one. Number two, if we look at all the greatest devotees, they stuck to one name, one form.
Mm.
Because we want multiple gods and forms only from a worldly perspective. As Sai Sati said, if we want the fire department, if we want the police, only from a worldly perspective, we need multiple forms. But all great devotees stuck to only one form for everything. They 911 to the same God. All problems. So, because they didn't have any need to call any other department, because they had what they call hotline. And they said, it's fine, I will trouble you for even small things. But the thing is, such people never trouble God for small things. Because they thought in the world anything can happen, no problem. I don't need your help. I need only you. So I think that's all. That was my point. See, we cannot see such criticism is true until we can prove to the other person our anubhava is completely different. Until then, we will have to face the criticism. We have to put up with it. And so that was my point.
Thank you.
So, okay, I think, see, because we are doing what people on the street are doing. Who is our example of going to this temple and doing this archana, that temple and going to this archana? Whose example are we following? Are we following Hanuman, Meera, Tyagaraja? All the greatest devotees just stuck to one person, one form, one name. But the thing is, when we go to other temple, we think, oh, same Lord, He's present here, but I like that form, no problem. And you can imagine you have what form you like. That was my point. So I think whatever we are doing, Swami says Atmanubhava, Sakshatkar. Then only we can see we are Astiga Dharma Parudu. So I think that is what we have to understand. It's my understanding. I'm sorry, it's not something is wrong, but we need to rise up to that level which Swami has put us here. That you have to know you are the Atman. You need to have the Atma Sakshatkara. So then we can talk to anyone and I say, look here, come here. If we say Swami is God, you believe, but are we really experiencing Him? I think that's the question. Sometimes when we go to the retreat, somebody said we had to set up a counter to talk to newcomers. Newcomers, okay, and tell about Swami. Actually, yesterday only, 1970 Swami is giving a discourse where he's saying, Bhagavantam went to US and came back, and he's saying that some people were asking questions about me. Then Swami says, who can explain who is me? Who has understood? They have to just experience. So you cannot answer any of those questions. No one has any qualification to even talk about me. So see, so I think so. Swami is striving, get the experience, Atmanubhava, Ishvara Sakshatkara, and that's what I wanted to say. Until then, the criticism should prod us to get to that point. Okay, until then, we are what they are calling us. They are running from pillar to post, one God form to other form of God, because we have not yet identified who is the Paramatma. Okay, everyone goes to all gods, but without having a concept of Paramatma. So I said that. Sorry, I hope I have not.
No,
No,
thank you. Good.
Sarah Manna, thank you. I just wanted to clarify, like, I understand that, God, we need to stick to one form, one God, and that concept, I understand that. My question was with respect to why Hindus have many gods and many temples. Is that because each temple has different energy? That's what's my question to answer. When somebody asks why in Hinduism you have multiple gods and goddesses and multiple temples, what is the significance of that? I was coming from that perspective.
Mushroom.
Mushroom, okay.
Swami has already answered in the
Yeah.
first or second chapter. So many forms, so many practices have mushroomed in the Bharat.
I see.
So Swami, see, we should understand if Swami has taken avatar, it's not to materialize some ring for somebody and perform somebody's marriage or, to tell somebody something. He has come to rejuvenate Sanatana Dharma. Okay. So whatever people are practicing around us, we should question based on what Swami has taught. So what Swami is telling is it has to rise up to the original splendor of Bharati belief. That's why Swami came. See, now before Swami, maybe the major person who has really done a lot of work is Adi Shankaracharya. There was so much infighting among Hindus. So he's the one who said all six, that there were 6 schools fighting big time at that time. So he came and said it's all one. And he tried to Shanmata Stapaka, he basically unified them. And he established Advaita. It's one is God is one. So he did immense work, and it has lasted some amount of time. So Swami has come again to do this. So I think we should follow what Swami is telling us. Is my point. I hope I don't.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Uncle. So just to try to understand this, so on the one hand, you're talking about how all of these different factions are kind of like the mushrooming effect. And on the other hand, Swami is saying that no one can deny the various descriptions of God, that God can be described in various ways. No one can deny that. So how do we, because it seems like two different.
No, it's one. See, if somebody prays to Ganesha, nothing wrong. If somebody is praying to Shakti, nothing wrong. But if the person is one day praying to Ganesha, one day praying to Shakti, that's wrong. Okay, now you neither believe in Shakti nor you believe in Ganesha. There's a nice story which Swami has told, There was one fellow who had, maybe you all know. So one fellow had lot of problems, challenges. So somebody said, pray to Shiva, everything will be fine. So he bought a nice picture of Shiva, put it up, and every day he was doing puja. A couple of weeks passed, nothing happened. He said, you are no good. He put him in the one Almera. And somebody said Shakti is better. So he prayed to Shakti. Like that, every day he was praying to different, every week he was changing. So one day he was worshipping, I don't know, mother or somebody. And that day when he was doing the dhupam, incense stick, he saw the smoke was going towards the Almera. So right away he covered, that Almera, so that those gods who didn't do a good job should not be getting this incense stick. Okay. Apparently, right away, all the gods appeared. Then he said, what happened? All of you suddenly appear all this time. He said, today only you had faith that we are there. Okay. So this is a story which Swami has told. So if we are doing something like that, then it's a problem. Swami says, you take a form, have faith, nothing wrong. But if you're switching, that practice of switching, not having ekagrata is a problem. That is what Swami has. That means you don't believe the God you are praying to. But we can give, of course, different departments and things like that. But that is only from a worldly perspective. But from a Paramatma perspective, we should have one form. We should pray all the time. I hope, Kalyani, I hope I have.
Yes, Uncle. So it's kind of like what within ourselves internally, we should have the one form that we could do, but externally, when we see these multiple different forms of worship, again, we should not be judging them because each of them.
No. We
So,
can treat it as manifestation of the same Lord.
yes.
They are also praying to that law form. It is reaching our own, the divinity who we are praying to. That confidence we should have is better. Because we should not follow advice from X, Y, or Z. We should follow advice from Swami, is my thing. So, Sairam. Yes, Brother Yoga.
Before go to Puttapati last year, so a couple of months ago, I switched to Muruga to Swami. Because I always, from this small boy, I start praying. One day at the Swami's chair at home, hey, I do Acha, doing bhajan, everything was Swami. How come only meditating only Subramanya? Then I said, okay, keep Swami and, Swami and Subramanya same. Then I had a struggle. Then I said, okay, I meditate on him, go to which we can go. And Puttavati and ask Prem Manush, give me the clarification. She said, no, uncle, you can stay with the Subramanian, no problem. But when I came back home, give me the problem again. And I said, I stay with Swami, and now it's little bit. The Subramanian did this is from me, and I could meditate Swami only now. But I think that Swami gave me a clarification today to me.
Yeah. So there's another clarification I can give you, brother. There was a
Thank you.
professor called Nanjundaya. I don't know, he used to be a translator of Swami also, very devout gentleman. He was my teacher also, lecturer. Even this time when I went, I spoke to him. He has memory issues, but he recognized me, so I was so happy. But so in the 70s, he came to Swami's fold, and he was so much in love with Swami. He completely dedicated his life to Swami. So one day, Swami apparently he was meditating in the veranda, and Swami came. Swami called him. What are you doing? And Swami meditating. Come, and Swami took him inside, and Swami told him, "You are doing everything wrong. What are you meditating today?" So he said, "Swami, today I am meditating. I don't exactly remember, as father." "What did you meditate yesterday?" "Swami, yesterday I meditated you as mother. Different form, something like that." Swami said, "You have been with me so many years, useless. Why are you changing the form? Have the same form, have the same approach. That is only will get you me." So this he has told. To that extent, Swami goes, you don't change the posture, change the form which you are meditating on, because through that only, that ekagrata, with one pointed attention only, you will attain God. If you keep on shifting, there's a chance that you will not be steady. That was so. Thank you, brother. So that's
One more thing. When he was small boy with the Swamis, we would come out from the Dr. Thompson house.
yes.
My father took there and he said, "Oh, he's here, he's here." He's so happy. And we have a small picture and the people start complaining. Then my father said, "We pray Muruga, Swami will come through that." I said,
Okay.
"My Swami is here. Swami says, Muruga is here. Who is this Swami?" He just tell you grab him and you say he will come through that. And now I understand your clarification. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, brother, Sairam.
Brother,
Yes,
Sairam,
yes.
you know, it's so much. Brother, you're saying, we know we have to stick to one form and name. That's right. But now you're saying, now not you're saying, Swami is saying, how to, the relationship also has to have one relationship. So you don't see Swami as a father or mother or your friend. You
Why?
don't.
Why you want too many?
One form, and no, the relationship is a side. One time he's helping out as a mother. One time he's helping out as a friend, because while I'm
What
walking,
help? What help, sister? What help?
not help means anything that we think of, right? Brother, kindly clarify that a little.
I'm just asking question. I don't have answers. Okay. I just asked you what help you want from the mother.
Help
It's
mean as a motherly, sometime, motherly way of we are looking at him. Motherly is sometime we are looking at him as a friend. So you shouldn't be making the connection even with
you
the
should ask
different
Swami.
relationship.
You should ask Swami that. Hopefully he will give you the answer.
Okay, great. Thank you.
He is
But
Mata, Pita, Guru, Daivam, everything is he.
Yes.
When
So
you don't have
don't you see him as a mother, father, guru,
everything. He,
everything?
yeah, Mata, Pita, Guru, Daivam, everything he. Why do you have to think that your mother only helps? He helps helps us
He is
in
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
As
That's
a mother, as a father, as a guru, as a Daivam. He
yeah.
is helping.
That feeling, I don't know. I'll see whether how others. Yeah. Thank you, Auntie.
I feel that way. Sairam.
Sorry.
I know.
uh,
So
you,
just
you,
to add there,
you should not criticize, so I will leave it. Yes, Sister Shivani, please go
no, I
ahead.
want to say it's a very good question, Sister Aruna. Should we not think Swami as mother, father, and what Brother is saying? My understanding, and I'm just thinking on the spot. Yes, because we have created mother should be like this, father should be like this, friend should be like. My understanding is, how do you see the relationship? Be sure about it. Why we are kind of, how do you see him? We have created, oh, friend should be like this, mother should be like this. And I don't know if I'm giving the right analogy, because I usually give a wrong time, wrong things. One time Swami said, I think, that don't dig holes at different places. I guess that's what he's referring. Don't go to different places. To get water, you have to dig one place deeper and deeper to get water. And I think the relationship we want to establish, like Arjuna,
He had his friend, Krishna. Krishna can be a coach or mother, but the way the sakha, the relationship he had with the Lord Krishna was his friend. He can act as a mother, he can act as father, he guided him, but he was a sakha for him, who is becoming taking different role, but he was a sakha for Arjuna. That's my understanding.
Sarah,
Thank you, sister. Yes.
on the same topic,
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll come back later.
I think in Dhyana Vahini, when we had discussed this, we were saying that, when we're doing bhajans or when it's like Shivaratri or Navaratri and we are seeing Swami in different forms, that's okay. But when it comes to dhyana and meditation, we should have one form, one relationship, one posture even.
Swami has already told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, it is correct. But how long is the dhyana?
Yeah, I guess it should be.
Okay. Swami, what does Swami says dhyanam should be? How long it should be?
Yeah.
That's all. Okay. I'm just not saying anything. Swami has said clearly in the Dhyana Vahini, which we all studied. Yes.
Yes,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you. Yeah, that is what I also want to say. Thank you.
I did not want to quote because people say he's always quoting somebody.
But brother, my understanding is a form I am clear, right? But the relationship only I'm trying to understand here. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, sister. I think Auntie, as Sister Shivani said, some people say your spouse is your minister, your nurse, your doctor, your cook, your friend, everything. So you don't need, so that you have one relationship, that relationship covers all, which is what Mani Auntie also said, he can be doing the mother's work, father's work. God is capable. You don't have to say, you don't have to turn him to something for him to do that, He's capable of doing everything. He can be a child, father, friend, boss, everything.
That's my understanding. Okay, great. Thank you, Saira.
I love sister. Sarah. I hope, don't think, Swami will say, don't say something is wrong. But I'm just telling what we are recollecting what Swami said. In Dhyana Vahini, Swami said, don't change the form, don't change the name, keep it the same way. Okay, that's what Kalyani said. So then I asked, how long is the dhyana? Is it 1 hour, half an hour, 15 minutes? Swami wants the meditation to be continuous. Okay, Sairam, Sister Shivani, please
Just
go
to
ahead.
add to that, I guess when we think of a different form or the nature as a mother, father, or Shiva, that's a quality of a brain, monkey mind. That's what, and that's what Swami is saying. Tame your monkey mind, catch your monkey mind. Just ekad, whatever concentration, one pointedness, right? Just one pointedness. Don't just let your monkey. That's where our monkey is. This mind is playing the games. Oh, today is this, tomorrow is this. Bhagawan, help me as a mother, nurture me as a mother or father, scold me like this. So I guess he's saying just have one pointedness, and that's where I will appear. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you, sister. Thank you. Yes, Sairam, Auntie Saku.
Yeah, Sairam. In Dhyana Vahini, Baba says, choose a one form and you start meditating from the head to the toe. That's all. He didn't give a timing. He said you concentrate on that form and eventually you will, when you continue your meditation without any break, you will reach me. That's all he said, but he didn't give a time frame. So I'm just asking you. Thank you.
Sairam, Auntie. From what I remember, Swami says it has to be continuous.
Yeah, continuous.
Wherever we are, that meditation should continue. Is what I remember. We can refer back and see. Okay, Sister Vani, please go ahead.
Sairam, brother. So Swami also gave darshan as God Ganesha to Amritananda Swami and different forms to show his omnipresence. So how do we relate Swami giving darshan in different forms to those of them who are more familiar with? and then saying now we Swami is one. So how do we interpret these two examples that Swami say?
So anyway, I will post the question. I shouldn't be talking too much. Sister Shivani, you want to answer that question? Okay, no, your hand was up. Anyone else would like to say? Okay, maybe I will go as first, sister. See, when Swami gave darshan as Ganesha, he was fulfilling a vow which he had had when he was young, because that was a desire to see golden Ganesha, I think, at the end of his, a vow he was practicing, or a series of sadhana which he was doing. So the fruit of that Swami had to give him. So because he wanted to see that Ganesha, that thought was there, so he gave him the wish. For everyone who worships one form very lovingly, God will respond in that form. He will take that form and respond. So that's why any form is okay. Again, we'll go back. All forms are good, but we should take a form and work on it so well that God will take that form and give us. See, we should, we don't have to give up a form of God if we already like it. So that's why Swami, even in the Dhyanavine, he says, Ishta Devata, the Devata who you like and the form you like. Just meditate on that so that he can give you Sakshatkaram in that form. So until we get the Sakshatkaram, we should not let go of that form. That's what my understanding. I hope I have answered your question. So it all depends on each devotee, how they worship. God will respond in that form.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Sister Shivani.
Can I add a story?
Yes, okay. Short, sister.
Short, very short.
433.
How many of you know Geeta Ram, Sister Geeta Ram? I mean, yeah. So one time she came for a retreat, I think in Toronto as well, and she was saying that there was a Hispanic lady when she went in the U.S. and she was praying to Jesus for her younger daughter who had a knee replacement. She was a cleaner and couldn't afford her. And when she saw Geeta Ram, Sister Geeta Ram, and she said, "Do you have vibhuti?" And she said, "How do you know?" She said, "I'm praying to Jesus so much, so much, so much because I need so much. And this guy is coming in my dream with orange robe and all of that." He said, "There will be a lady who's coming in here. Ask her for vibhuti, give it to your daughter." So this is exactly what my brother has said. Pray one God so clearly, Bhagawan will appear, whichever form, right? So she was praying to Jesus, but Swami showed her the form. And
Thank you very much, sister. I think we are 4:34.
a short, right?
Yes, very good. Thank you very much, sister. Good ending to the study cycle. So we'll continue next week. And all of you can pray to the chosen form. And we'll come back next week. Saira.
Thank you.
Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Saira, everyone.
Sai Ram.
Sai